Pesa obey ma kwaba.
I
cannot be dinner na meeting was into now ampo Mr. Ogba.
Kade wa ma kai Lord Kenya nyum bi auto ye. So be edika.
And you Okafo so did. That's why you're careful at. Stress,
it's a very interesting and timely topic, especially what we are going through even as a nation. And then the platform is so important for us because of the influence in Nyoma Echre, because you drill down from the nation, then you come to organizations, then it comes to individuals, and ultimately from the individual na ye church and Nyoma di echi no Nyoma ye yesua anko ye no so I'm looking forward to the
discussion. Same here.
But I like the topic, practical. Practical.
Yes, realistic ways.
Until say where niaye ba be kanu ya ye bida. Na ye yi. Until I pese a tray atie for na hwe for say almost betumi aye bi.
I like that.
Until nya say bi akokin kan wa ba bi na. Enkwenti ye be kanu kra. E ka de o kan obi adika. Me ka ba bi say e ka de o so ndi bi kra sabio. Nyame osum kra
Odeneka.
So whether you like it or not.
What do you
and I can't be so have kra na obedi. Unyan wo ya beto diapers.
Now honestly, from where we sit now as a nation where abindeka and I just say one gasa woman no wodeka. Into already na gasa kadie. We hear they are wodi. Into this conversation is very 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 important. But ye ka say debt ana a car and what are the types a cabana a war you bet to be differentiate say types of a car.
So basically there are different definitions for a car, all right, so or debt. And then just to put it in context, so be a betia sense a car ya sebio bibi was utia ya kasika 17 America a can, but sometimes a can also be one yesika a yebia a new nyambi gratitude and honor inti ebia ma yebi bia ma ana o ma mia bia ma me o papa boa me da e kwan be so inti akwese me de o ka bi enya e ka no enya sikasem, but it could be an honor, a gratitude or bibi bia baba because ye ka sikasem inti we de ye sika o di obi a wo se otua. So we are individual and one kasa we juma now you are owing somebody and basically you have to pay. And to answer the second part, me can really will be but to put it in context no ya chemu miensa ya short term there.
Short term, okay.
Short term, it can be a short term.
Okay.
And no be na odi UG na OG and because if you OG also be a cockroom or buy also OG. It's only a short term to be the crown. And I saw medium term.
Okay.
The medium term we say economy kakra. Usually in finance, you can be say a short term. We are looking at up to 1 year. Within 1 year, can be about to be a trial. But being to me 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. We are not saying specifically say would you because it's a short term. I'm not going to say happy from for say money have you see short term there 1 year into make you know. And I want medium term up to 3 years and a long term need to say a bond minimum year can one. So
right.
Those are the 3 types of a car. However, no a bit beyond in soon so.
Okay.
So it can be a short any 7 bit here. So don't own your car 5 years I said you in 7 bet is 1 year dear. So you have to be very clear nintia okako abosa can.
First of all, you've differentiated short term, medium, and a long term, right? A DNA yekotutosa different category. What happens now if we end up finding ourselves in one of these debt or the other?
So you said something rightly, sir. It can be so some are even by natural disasters. It be a yare accident. Be to me see Emma Sebio. Wa be out in one be a one to me M1. So you have to call on Obiso Sebi on Beboa na Unyeni Awasawaye. So the first one could be natural disaster. I and found Sebi Util baby Siana so tona be you are. Now your master.
True.
Na Sebi be dear. So I told the Kuno Nipan Hona one chair and to say wooden cabana washeda. So the first ones are the natural, but the other one also younger say near.
Okay.
Which is what we are going to talk about, that we self-induce some of a canon.
Okay.
And here we talk about your lifestyle that pushes us to find ourselves in that debt. And the other one, it's also again about lifestyle more, but it's largely due to what we allow in. once the first one on there, you don't have control. Natural.
Natural.
Second one, you have control.
Yes.
Your lifestyle.
But you decided.
But other one is one microphobia so abemua almost on my bed influence. So there are the three large areas.
Okay. All right. Now let's go to what are some of the consequences? I'm going to say, you dirty, whether it is natural.
I like the way I say wakofa.
Naturally, the one explain is it is life.
You have no control.
You have no control. Near 1 year, young cassa, you see, you buy a way, she, Miss Baby, car, way, me, person, Mrs. Sabini. When we find ourselves there, what are the consequences of not paying these debts on time? Or defaulting.
So I like before you want to look at baby say gone too soon and I hot a shock. So audio big car and we'll look at how these things happen. Because already why stressed and sana a casual account. So usually the causes are that you become very anxious through anxiety.
Yeah.
So that's the major thing. Who now car, and if you to me into your car, only to me into your car. So it makes you disorganized. To me, and if you are stressed and you can't think well, Sebio,
yeah.
So we always say that as much as possible. Even to me into your poor. Manage it so that its effect will not be so much. I don't want to pretend to say yeah, cats and one way or the other, yendi kana, yendi kada.
Since I'm sure that cousin, me sure that the chassis, yes, I'm sure that there no chassis, no moves. So at the end
of the day, management, no, about to me. So one, yes, sir, you put so much stress and pressure on yourself, and ultimately it can affect, once you are affected, or what Sebi fear with Juma, it can so largely
your health,
it gives you a lot of pressure. That's the causal effect, and it can sometimes result into death. If there was a story I had, so be Edio, Canepane, Banana, or Dodge, unfortunately, na Sebi or Patria, na Sebi, Nano, and you get so all these things. And then sometimes even if you young can cry now can be biatro be out ordinary one honor Sebi medicanti, the Biana, why agitated. Now we am eshun but I don't crack of fire remote crana your man kitten. So once you're able to identify some medical, look at yourself in the mirror and be sincere as a medical.
This is the situation.
Medical which we are going to talk about. Nyoma be about to me I say to me pressure
from. Let's take the individual.
You thinking about in terms of apart from that's how it can personally affect you, what about how it affects you in terms of, let's say, your reputation, and then in terms of maybe later also, maybe as a how it's able
so Eugene is right. And Ceciano question I will be sending a economy of Ghana Ceciano. Say you did kada and I yet to be Ceciano yet didn't to me into and yes, I call as a Sanko Bushia say Ghana no and Uncle also Debbie La Yenomodida. Yeah, would you a brands I sa canty. Ceciana wedged it down, Koshana Yeni and Sawasamba.
Okay.
Yeah.
You get it. So reputationally, a bet to me a hard and now Sabi Uchum Crananko so Sabi Eugene because so the car. So it can even affect some of the opportunities in the future.
Yeah.
I even hear say there's a now you can be blacklisted, right?
Oh, of course, even as so there are downgrades.
What your bank being a win
even banks no cry before we do a crisis here our platform I share Sebio. I find credit reference bureau.
Okay.
It assesses to know your credibility. Into Sebi Ojuma no sum dear but also per loan 1,000. Sure because so a be more 100 cities. Because we fear for an and yes sir. You share Nyoma wire in the past. And see I Sebi won't to mean to your account didn't credit 100 na mawa. So it can block maybe at that time now. Opportunity be all the goods being in your contract be a in the past.
Then it just blocks everything. All right, let's take it one by one. Since today we're talking about practical steps. Yemfana as an individual, me wo nipa oti NCCA. What strategies can I use to pay back my debt? Yemfana first as the individual. Now for the yenko, to say juma yes.
So, because the first thing is the Sebio a banisena a can a buyer. which I said depending on the type of a car. Say natural disaster, they are say but if it is self-induced, one person on the show also there, then we have to ask yourself, me, then I maybe do because if you don't know what led you there, it's very difficult for you to come out. So rightly so, say Ebia, who just can say go to your school fees. So what they say, and you say a can say be a new, but butanti a cano. That is what is very, very important. What you use it for.
What do you use it for?
That is the very, very the fundamental thing. Unkoje a car just for sikebi. For the purposes of our discussion, for consumption, sebi emba. If I say consumption, who they go to your school fees? Na sebi unko class exams untrobi. Ubeda na wa graduate anya juma papa babetia. And I would have to eduane a woody ediagu yem sebio. And then I'll be Ephraim. So we are saying that look at yourself and ask yourself, me then I'm could do baby I may do. So when you do that self-assessment, then you're like, sebio had your manyeni ye. Atari anka wasa me talk. Where the anka wasa me sebio shop where the anka wasa what shop where be it's legon baby. So what they say. Wow, share rent me not tell you your goods beyond to me to for and good shop. So sebio koya na buy. So do a self-assessment of yourself and ask yourself, how did I get here? Or what made me get here? Once we know, and now Jetum say, waiting I may do hand dear, then makes it easier for us to know, say, a more or about to me. But if you don't tell us or you don't do that self-assessment, I say hospital. One kind of credential doctor and say, when I hear me, if you know,
correct diagnosis.
You tell the doctor that this is the situation, me but I said, but before you realize, when I said, so you do a self-assessment. Then number two, have you done that? Look at your flow, income, expenditure. It is very, very important. And no now about to me, fast so about to me that you can, because can every be
one of find the ways it is.
So I said, we show income and expenditure. Now I should say, then I met me at so. And then I met me a year bema no better me kakra. And way they no crane ourselves catch on. We so no power show mirror no more. Now I say, hey, Sebio. Ubana me fa de bia de kojuma no. Bia emboa me. It was say me sorry intena me fa tro and me free Eugene so Eugene me join you. Ferry ni una obre. One cow yare obi to me ma we do. So at the end of the day, you have to look at your income and expenditure. And the income na eba no say endorse one. Was also ye nyoma ema ho encho. Me ema we expenditure no enko too much. That's why we said ubetumi am manage no. Say wo de kan 2 years, 3 years, I don't so tu and kakra. So you don't use all your income to pay for the debt so that by the time I scan be banana I go say a meal machine so you will never be sustainable. So have you done that? Now the next thing is to talk to your stakeholders. Send me the car.
Stakeholders ne ye what do you mokano?
There be almost ka ho bi. Bankrofo a oni omo etena omo oni ye be ha omo. So wa worry a o ma anywhere. So we juma obi a wankasa wo juma your employees and your suppliers. Because one oni omo obi nim se wa kodika udika. Into buy no who say goods no ho ba sabi udika. They say udika you need to talk to people say Charlie sabi me dey say ko share baby mo the next 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. These are the things that we need to do. That one you are not under any pressure. And he said, "We are crying him say, Udi kebi."
Yes.
And he said, "You know, you bedi a monanko siya nkahwa ne panabeti asiya." Workers no so yako this kebi yako dikebia. You say the expansion. Right. To me increase salary for the next 2 or 3 months. They would understand. But as a one nyoma your stakeholders. About hard. And here, even your stakeholders include Nipa now, then can say meet you in 2 weeks' time. But say I didn't econo. I'm sure I'm not quite 3 months. It's Mr. You bet to me at Nasi Akawa assembly year now. But most of the time, no. Yeah, you want to be smart. But also, where if he says, "Can I do a Eugene Honors?" And also, or do a baby into one country and one. So it's a cycle. So once you're able to be sincere with ourselves with these 3 steps, it helps you to put yourself in control. Number one, you know yourself.
Do the assessment. Yes.
Charlie Medica.
Yeah.
Abrabo ami bodi enyama me e den na metumi ateso e den na metumi aye
nyoma
ho amu na mehwa ni ami wo mu no e betumi aha o se bi wo akra na se makoma ye wo ya e makoma ye me ya Eugene Grant name say Cabentina. So what I said to no for Serbia ice cream hospital. Ice cream cabin before I realized it's beyond that. But if you had told him, it would have been Ebia or how or Eugene Sebia Besokotosa Mercedes Benz black no pressure no. But only money to it and any budget. So once we are able to engage our stakeholders, it makes it easier for us to control our reputation, and then our health and everything.
I was going to go into the business, how to strategize, but your stakeholder explanation, Eddie, there.
You know, it reminds me of a certain case where a friend of mine, there's like personal back in school, okay. Or student loan. Most of those times you need somebody to guarantee that for you. Years after school, now Nijuman and Shedankwe, Nipana or guarantee man has retired, so I retire now. Now they are saying say or guarantee man will be and this old lady came asking say, hey, now bro, won't you can here? And it was a big, huge, like it was a huge thing.
It was and it's sad.
Yeah. So I believe these steps, people will be able to,
absolutely.
Yeah, pick like these steps. Immediately you start working, maybe as like a cramp on the better hold.
Yes. Now communicating. She said one can channel. Years later, I think a nipano. But as same way I can about communicating there, Ghana. -0. Mr. Alba. Ghana. This platform.
Sometimes out of fear. And sometimes it's we think we are smart. But I've always believed as much as possible. Just like I said, the topic is very good for us because of the government of Ghana is going through. Or say on himself adoka. Sabi uchaniti ututu no uchim no on to me. So then I so when you come like that, sometimes me they will cut 10 cities. But maybe I can't control what you can say. Would you bet me 5 8 there does. What you bet you have 5 there. 5 now.
So you government
So when you open up non-independent caucus, I bet me IABB. But one council, the person will think that you are rather being smart.
True.
Now I'm also the business also ankoye. So the issue of communication, we really have to look at it.
All right. Me no be to just before I came, no bisa say. Me bisa is it advisable say medika? Me who say baby ekoi. Me chuchu bibia so krana. I don't know near me twa so say rent na me twa so. Say me nim near me twa so say me to me say bi o etialo. Ubetumi borrow. Are you allowed? Can you allow from your where you sit as a financial analyst? Metumi aka say me ko borrow. Na me di tua we at least na we mfi me so. Na we nso nkoye new one at least we
and then your friend with other people's money. OPM. So what if I get you right?
Yes.
What it is me the using 1,000. Mean to ya. To me akoje bi 1,001 bi wo ho no.
Yeah.
Na me da betia using na. It is only allowed if nyameba beje wo ho no no extended time e wo ho kakra.
All right.
It's me the using ka 1,000 e was me to next week. So next week nyame anyam adom na minim say me nya sika. Me sure wo boss say metu also the next week. So I'd have to come to an arrangement with a tenor in mind. Say I'll need a longer tenor with a reduced installment. I bet me aboa me metu dada no. So what they are and yes I home betro. And sometimes when me pino ko jefu from na before be do fie kwa bia na asaya 1 or 2.
That is if you are nya assessment and you're working if from the beginning you nya assessment no enye truthful to ourselves say ade manye ni
use assessment you have to write and you write with red pen.
Sir
and I show so now so red need the reason is that I say and then you pen made in car now Harrison so made in so when you write them that's why you need time out. Write everything and keep be out there. And I said about a kakra onion dear water bill when you say what you soon this month to be coming. So whether I like it or not, so there are some economy dear air but you have to look back.
I was say if
you now use prepaid now postpaid, all these things you have to be conscious of it. So when you write them, then you know totally I hear and then you now rank them. No, I say a comedy 3,000, 3,000. Eugene Kwande 2,000. So based on the ranking, now I show one day I mean to your first. one day I mean to your last one I met to me a panacho. One I make comment to my catcher so you Jimmy Srawa Mammy America crowd. So your negotiations and all these things are very important. That's why sometimes no do because your post chakra be mane panel so na me de kana mesi minis kana de bi ahom ya na sabi
I me to
lifestyle in no cry any near me.
I get it.
Then it becomes very
usually your employers no more yes
So here we are saying that it is not bad to go for a new loan to pay the old one. However, they should look at the tenor and the interest and the installments, because if you were paying Eugene 300 cedis installments, now for from us got you 300 and you now buy. But say Eugene 300, now for from over to 150, and then you have a relief of a 150.
Okay.
But say 150, no man say konya the for bio and also buy a car. So you just have to basically plan it.
All right, I think I'll do a video to Happy 98.9. This is the Money Hub with me, Cassandra, my guest, and actually I've got a surprise guest for you. I'll be revealing her right after Minnie Harrison in terms of practical ways I'd be free. Come on, say that being Friday. Me say I don't want to say Allah on air. Hey, Allah. Me say by Sunday. Me say Sikal, where's the money?
Especially all standing order
a call debt and qua. Now tell my major Eugene, especially mine, you know, say so you
that exchange me
baby back so far. Oh wow, see Charlie. The money where you
almost or the year baby.
Exactly.
And that's another problem we have. We assume say a cannabis or so are there and 100 cedis spend. But as an individual or as a business, you don't have to take those things for granted. True. Eugene mentioned something about integrity and a reputation. The banner may say far.
Yeah.
Different, but don't so it makes it very difficult for you, for anybody to trust you. Say Sebio, bet to me, it is the amount.
All right. Harrison Ansani, the last 1 year, BB, I think, say we partly. But we have that situation where up until this conversation and up until recently, now you said this is the way we should do it. Obi why you twetwe nkomo ya na adoni on him or her say, ade amedi ye koju men say. I don't think say it is right. Medwane na ye ka say whether individuals and as businesses. You be joining now from ya menfa. And this has been many years. And or this and a bitterness so on also the ebikra the gone too soon no also critical. But a year we say it's based on something and one a kana with dinner when you know Johnny yeah can say I'm sure say Ubi I realize I said I need to do it right. What are requirements on faso and fan go back and fan really retracing your steps
so
to correct.
Quickly and as before we switch now. Again, when you need to record the car trip.
Yeah.
Or maybe I said within a car. I mean, it's not you are not alone. And that's what I want to say.
Yeah.
Say, like I mentioned, undika sikakra, udika wa a for froso.
Yeah.
So communicate. And your communication should be one in sincerity. But it can't be nyame there are some debts that you can't pay, but there are other ways by which you could be able to compensate for that. So there are things that we can do. I'm not talking of the extreme one, but there are other things that you can do. So just communicate, go back, but watch your lifestyle clearly, because at the end of the day, higher. Like we've always been saying, Obi wa use phone, papa. O phone I will use no.
A bit me to your debt, no.
Ni screen say 3,000. Phone screen say 3,000.
Oh, salary at 3,000.
Also salary require 3,000. 3,000 crown to your tight employer. So what does the phone say? You're already handicapped in a way, and your phone. So near money be some assets you can sell them. You can swap them. So what they say? A tiny wardrobe CCS ni unshare. So the mark Cassandra no be more 50 cedis cry is better than it being there and gathering that. So some of the things you can even form a platform. The last time we did it, platform with our boys, Charlie, my laptop will home me so
Sir?
no be so challenge the member of 300 or
Oh,
challenge
wow.
now we are so
That's a nice
you can even do a
platform.
yard sales with your friends in the office. So what else? But you know our mindset, you know, maybe in person. Some you can even take Eugene's old phone, not the amount of house help.
Yes.
You know, like those little things. So release in your mind. Here, I said we able to mean sikaka cry there, every so, and then please, we're done for 4 no. Very, very important. If I sit with you for 2 hours, now me nya baby papa be from say nya spiritual benefit, na nya financial and physical benefit. And say you stress when took every time my best wage I stress and I'm sansa me chiako. No. 3 hours. Time is money.
Time is money.
I remember what we were told by Mr. Mwabi some time ago.
Yeah.
That time,
It's true.
so some know where there should be something that we can learn from. Oh, try me BB by investing in me,
Yes.
mentoring me, teaching me,
Yes.
and I'm but don't waste the time thinking that it will come back to you. And when it is gone, it is gone.
I like that.
So be careful the kind of friends you have and the influences that they have on your life. You have to be very choosy at your level.
Could be says influences ninety can I would
I said
because
every
pressure.
Friday be a way number. So what you say? It is to say okra we Friday and Sunday se kana sano. Ka o de bibi kakra count kebab ni number bianca. And the crank obeka
My Ricky Baba, I promise you, Mr.
you get it.
Harrison,
So when you add some other lifestyles,
Yeah.
if we are sitting at a place now, we are discussing Charlie cement block tiles, and you may be
Yeah.
and you don't wake up about himself.
Yeah.
Contain about 1 or
Yes,
2. So
yes.
your networking should determine your net worth from the relationship that you have. Otherwise, then you are just wasting your time.
I like that. This has been the Money Hub with me, Cassandra. We our one and only Missy. He's the best. He's one of the best in Ghana and in our generation. Quote me anywhere. Mr. Harrison, I'll buy a financial and investment analyst. And it's a whoop be Abuawa. He's definitely there for you. My next guest is an amazing woman, and I think you will love to hear her story. Temi Agana, CEO of Lozeli. Lovely to have you.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Hi. Last week we waited for you. But thank God you're here today.
Yes.
Awesome. So I hear that you have an amazing story.
Yes.
And I think it's so touching that I want you to tell us the story. I think we should hear from the horses. I'll take some out. This is a woman who used to be, Yakasa Kaya head porter, right? Or Yakaya with ni mame. And then afterwards, she got a scholarship with your school or a master's. She's now started a business startup that helps. Tell us the story.
Thank you so much for inviting me. My name is Teni Agana, and I'm from Bolgatanga in the Upper East region. Yes, I was a Kaya. So I lost my father when I was 16, and usually young people in the northern part of Ghana, we migrate to the south, believing that we'll be able to earn an
greener
income.
pastures, yeah.
Right. And sometimes it's not like that. It's not how it goes. So my parents migrated to Takoradi, so that was where I was born.
Okay.
And my father worked as a truck pusher, and my mother worked in a choba. So she prepares the banku, the kokonte, and all that. So when my father passed away, my mother couldn't take care of us, myself and my siblings, with the money that she gets. So we decided to go back to the north. So I went back to the north. The school fees there is subsidized. Sometimes too is free. So I went to the north, and I had an opportunity after secondary school. There was no money for me to. By that time we didn't have free SHS, so there was no money for me to go to secondary school. So I went to Kumasi with the hope that I'll be able to get, let's say, a shopkeeper, something simple to work, so that I can save money and go. But when I went, I didn't get that occupation. And coming from Bolgatanga, I come from a village called Sergo. And I see most of the young girls coming. And my fun fact, my mother worked as a head porter.
Yes.
My grandmother worked as a head porter.
Wow.
So I know the job that they do. So when I went to Kumasi, I also decided to, some of my friends, the friends that I had in Bolga, they were into
also into that
so
business.
I joined them. The first day was hard.
I know.
Because most of the Kayas, they have their own customers.
Okay.
So the people that come to the market, they have their own customers. So the first day was hard for me, but subsequent days I was able to pick up. So I worked as a Kaya. So basically how my day goes, you get up early in the morning. So by 3, you are up, because we sleep in front of the market women's shop.
I've seen
and
it.
sometimes when some of us Kaya we dirty up the place, so they don't want us to sleep in front of them because we will dirty up the place. So you have to get up early before they come. So you get up and then you go to, there are usually trucks that come with cassava, yams and all that. So you start helping the market women to pack their things, carry their things to them.
That's how your day starts.
Exactly.
Now, fast forward, I'm interested in this story because we've just started a mentorship program.
Yes.
And I believe that for everybody that sees someone who has done it, it is easier for them to say, whoa, I can also do it. So for that Kaya who is listening, for that somebody who is listening and they don't have hope, like they don't know where to, your story is like, is the magic for them. Fast forward, how did you get a scholarship from packing yam 3 a.m.? Who saw you? Who will give you scholarship for you to go to Ashesi University to study and now also start your own startup? What happened there?
Yes. So fast forward, after secondary school, I went to secondary school for 4 years. For me, one thing that has always worked for me is that I have a plan. It doesn't mean that things are going to work according to the plan.
Say that again.
I always have
You always had a plan.
Yes, so it doesn't mean that things will go according to the plan, but then you have something that guides you. So when things are very tough, you know that, okay, this is where I want to be. So it doesn't matter what is happening here. I want to get here, right?
What made you want to get here? Because Daddy, you never saw Daddy get there. You never saw Mommy get there. Was there somebody in community? What made you want to say, I want to rise above it? Was there someone?
So when I was 10, I saw a picture of a woman with the graduation gown on. I love that. To me, she was the most, she smiled like the way you are smiling. She was so beautiful. Perfect. So I knew she was a happy person. So I kept that picture and I just wanted to be, she was wearing a graduation gown on. So I knew it was something related to education. So I kept it and I really wanted to be that person. And my parents, none of them went to school. So my mother too was pushing for me to have a better future than she did. So I think that was some of the things that was motivating me. So fast forward, after secondary school, I went to Kumasi with my mom. I was working and she was also working. The goal was that we are going to put our money together and I'll go to training college. Training college, I'll get allowance. So that was my master plan.
Wow.
So so we went to Kumasi, let's say a week for us to go back. I was carrying someone's thing and one of the girls that I knew back in the village she was trying to tell me something. So I didn't mind her. I carried the things and then she came to me and she said my mom had an accident. She went to buy firewood. She was crossing the road and then the church was knocked in. And I think that was where my life changed because for me at that moment I felt like I had the worst life when it comes to what could go wrong in someone's life because I was trying so hard. And in the hospital, the money that we've worked for a year,
went into hospital.
10 minutes, all the money, I have to use it for her. So for me, I was tired. But then I was ready to start again, all over again. So I was walking out of the hospital to get food, and I saw a woman crying, and I went closer, and they said the child needed blood. So I went, and then some people, the husband was outside, so people tried donating to see, checking their blood to see if they
would match.
So I tested and my blood type matched the child's own. So I donated for the child, and later on the woman came to thank me for what I did for the daughter, and then she asked me what happened, and trust me, I took my time and
to narrate the whole story.
She was like, "Do I know Comfort Ghana?" Campaign for Female Education. So they are an organization that supports young girls, both entrepreneurship and then going to school. So she directed me to Comfort. I went to Comfort and I had a single number. They were very excited to meet me.
Fantastic.
So I went with my certificate and they said, okay, what school do I said training college? They said no. And they were convinced, they were telling me to go to Ashesi. I said, I've never heard of Ashesi in my life. So I said, no, I want to go to training college.
They're like, no, with this number, you should go to the university.
So I went to Ashesi. They said, okay, I should just apply to the schools that I want. So I applied to the school that I want. And they said, okay, I should just apply to Ashesi for them. So I met a woman called Auntie Sally. She's now the country there. She said, okay, I should just apply for her. So I applied to Ashesi, and Ashesi called me for my interview. I was sleeping on in the Uber to the campus for my interview. When I got there, the place was so beautiful. I said, no, this is where
I want. You see, you've always had a plan. You've always had a vision, and that's what makes it beautiful.
I went to Ashesi for my interview, and there's this part that they will ask you to tell them about yourself. So I started talking, and when I finished, they said, okay, have I heard of MasterCard Foundation Scholarship? I said, no. They started telling me about it. So eventually I went to Ashesi University as a MasterCard Foundation scholar.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Now, just before we go, because our time is almost up, now that you have also started, finishing Ashesi, and you have also started your startup that is helping Kayaye, what exactly are you doing? What exactly are you doing? What's your kaka, right?
Yeah, I'm teaching.
Now you
sorry, me teaching.
All right. And to say, like, what exactly are you doing for Kayaye? And say, was washa see a woman.
All right. See, in my third year, I went back home and I realized that some of the Kayayes that I was working with, sometimes coming to Kumasi, you work Kumasi, so and I you 3 and 9 boom so your boy and home by so like we took care of each other, and then I realized that they were still Kayayes. So that got me thinking, I got a golden opportunity to go to Ashesi. So what can I do to support young people like me? So I actually did my capstone, my thesis project on Kayaye, looking at the north. What are some of the opportunities? Because if you are an NGO coming to Ghana, you Google the poorest regions in Ghana, the north will show up. So there has been a lot of initiatives in the north, but then you realize that those initiatives, it doesn't translate to the life of the people, right? So what is it that they do that? Right? So that was some of the research that I did, because if you want to start something, you learn from what others have done, and then you can work on it. So currently, Ejuma your friend Lozele initiative, and basically so the goal is that we want to support these girls. Because we have some like myself that want to go to school. We have some that want to learn a skill, right? So based on what you want, so we have 70 Kayayes that we are working with, and they are back home. Out of the 70, 24 of them almost school, and they can make the products. So they make products such as, basically in the north there are a lot of skills that they have. There are a lot of things that are around us. So using the north, so they make shea butter. We sell it to the people that do cosmetics and all that. We have this beautiful fabric that I'm wearing. Yes, so that's nice. The smoke. Yes, the smoke fabric, and we have some that sew. So they create designs out of the smoke fabric. And we also have the woven baskets and other things.
Tenny, definitely. It was over back. So these are all the products in the north.
Yes.
This is super amazing.
So they make different things. So we create products, and currently we have 70 of them. This year we joined the meshed.
Mommy.
Oh, okay. All right, let me open it. Yes. Yes.
Wow, you definitely need to go to Facebook.
Yes.
My guest and Nadia, you definitely need to go to. This is a kimono, right?
Yes, this is a kimono. Exactly, like what I'm wearing.
All right, and that is the way our Omodi support your Omodi school.
Exactly, so they go to school. Omupon school, no mabaye. Omwe weavy. Ya wa almost omuko school, but no mabe pam. And there was special product like baking. So 3 of them identify the Kaya. So we take them to a behavioral change model in the north. In Accra, just to change their mindset. Because when I go to them, they are like, Tenny, you were Kaya before you got a scholarship, and now you are here telling us that we should go. What is in the north? So you take them through behavioral change model. You bring expert doctors to come and talk to them. You also bring some of the girls that we supported to come and tell them how exactly. Because some of them feel like, because I got a scholarship, that's why my life has changed.
But that is not it. You had a plan.
Yes.
You had a plan.
So, yes. So that's what we do at Lozele. We currently joined the UNICEF Startup Lab just to work on a platform, our e-commerce platform, to enable customers outside Ghana to actually purchase our products. So that's what we are working on, and also on our marketing. Yes.
Yes. I think you're very invited to come. Money Hub, we would definitely love to partner you. This year a strategic partnership. We would definitely love to partner you. And I would, in fact, this is Mr. What's it? And also is in it. And also ever partner. All right, Mr. Ogba, any young to change how practical ways to come out of debt. I hope, sir, going forward, you will, you were going forward, you would definitely take it and come out of debt. Tenny, my number.
Yes. And see,
obi so etie no peso obua kaya ye bi apacho my own number.
Yes. So this International Women's Day, we are celebrating them. So we've started our own center that the girls currently they work from home. So we have built our own center that will be opening this International Women's Day in Boga. Right. So you can contact us on our social media platform, which is Lozele, LOOZEELE, Lozele Initiative on Facebook, Instagram, and then LinkedIn. And you can also call us on 0546 024877.
Number Nibium
0546 024877.
I will actually take the number. Yes. Yes. But there's a lot more that we can do together. This has been the Money Hub with me, Cassandra. OBDJ and Ikesika are going to take you all the way until 10 p.m. This is an amazing conversation, an amazing day, and have a good evening. Makramo, bye-bye.
This is Happy FM.
Like and subscribe and click on the notification. Happy FM, Nimdie, Happy FM, and Nijenkwa.